and welcome to the program Talk Sport on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Beautiful morning, Monday morning, and happy new month. Happy 1st of September 2025, a month of delivery, a month of results. Yes, and then talking results, we see lots of action going on in Asaba as a whole lot of youthful energy is in Asaba as the Night National Youth Games is ongoing, and Nigerians are showcasing bright talents that shows that the future of this great country, that's talking about the sector of sports and activities, is in good hands, and Nigerians are, youthful Nigerians are making us proud. And then we saw actions, Manchester United finally getting 3 points over the weekend over Burnley. Manchester City losing 3 points to Brighton, which is very shocking as well. Liverpool yesterday showed that they are champions, though they had they almost settled for a draw, but Liverpool maintained momentum with the early goal that was scored in the first half, and then that gave them the much needed 3 points that they wanted. And then in the NPFL, we saw lots of actions locally here, where Nigerian Professional Football League in the match day 2, we saw lots of actions. We saw some settling for draw. That's talking about the likes of Bayelsa United, and also in 4 years we saw Katsina United getting their first win. Katsina United has been going through a whole lot of restructuring and all of that, and then that seemed to be out of the way now ahead of this 2025-2026 season, as in their first outing yesterday they had a very good outing, and then they defeated Plateau of Jos 2-1. We'll be bringing you those stories, and also we'll be talking about Nasarawa United and Abia Warriors, as Nasarawa United edged over Abia Warriors. Then talking about Arsenal and the goal that was scored, Ryan Gare says that the new ball is the reason why he couldn't keep the free kick out. So we'll see how that happens. Now, is the ball in bad shape or has a low quality? We'll figure out that in the course of the show. And then talking transfers, Ademola Lookman's issue is still very much on, as Atlanta left the conversation with Inter Milan, and now they are also saying they are not going to go with Bayern Munich based on the transfer talks. That's talking about him going on loan. And then another big one coming out from the world of transfer is that Alexander Isak has completed his move to Liverpool in a 130 million transfer fee deal that has been paid by Liverpool. On the other note, we've seen Christos Uche, who completed his move to Crystal Palace, and he will be featuring in their next matchup, hopefully this weekend. And also Sancho is also on the verge to make a very, very big move. And then ahead of the World Cup qualifiers, the Super Eagles camp will be resuming tomorrow, and we're expecting to see lots of individuals, Victor Osimhen and the likes of Trucks Ekong, see Kelvin Bassey, and also Alex Iwobi, and all will be in Yes, many thanks for still staying with us. And still talking football, the world of transfers. We've seen lots of Monsanto is going to be making a move quickly. Christos Uche on his way to the EPL and finally putting our hands together for Manchester United. They finally got 3 points over the weekend. So I can see my Manchester United friends all smiling and all. Well, we'll see how all of that will continue in the next couple of days. So moving on and starting from the home front as always, Asaba Ignite as 9th National Youth Games showcases Nigerians' bright talents that's coming from Asaba Delta State. Is alive with youthful energy, sporting excellence and national pride as the 9th edition of the National Youth Games got underway last week, bringing together the brightest young talents from across Nigeria. Sharing his experience after attending a tennis event at the Stephen Keshi Stadium Indoor Sporting Hall, Director General of National Sports Commission, Honorable Bukola Olakbade, applauded the spirit and discipline of young athletes. It gave me, in his words, he says, it gave me so much joy to see their energy, discipline and passion for the game. These young talents are the future of Nigerian sport, and it is our responsibility to create the right structure and opportunities for them to thrive. The DG further underscored the broad vision driving the games. The future is bright and Nigerian sports will continue to rise under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are determined to create pathways that not only discover talent but also nurture them to compete and succeed on the global stage. Honorable Olakbade added that watching them reminded him while he continued as the National Sports Commission to push innovation, development and investment in grassroots sports. This is where champions are made, he says. The game, running from August the 26th to September the 6th, 2025, feature 37 sports and have drawn athletes from 33 states and this Federal Capital Territory. Delta State hosts and defending champions, as well as Lagos, Edo, Oyo and Bayelsa states are leading the charge for who clinches this year's crown. The National Sports Commission invites Nigerians everywhere to rally behind the youth, celebrate them and their achievement, and witness the emergence of tomorrow's sporting legends. This is very, very interesting. You can see the Honorable in the midst of these young athletes. This is a boost. This gives them another level of, inclusion, and the fact that they are being appreciated and respected, despite representing their different states. The future, like the DG said, is in bright hands, and we are looking forward to exciting results from this competition. Team Delta, the defending champions, and we'll see if Lagos State and Akwa Ibom State, Bayelsa State, Ebonyi State, FCT, Borno, Maiduguri, or even Zamfara will be taking the charge and being the champion, in this year's edition. So we will see how all of that pans out as the event will be coming to an end later this weekend. So moving on, let's talk track and field quickly as Amosun Brome leads Nigerians World Championships contingents. Nigeria hurdler Tobi Amosun will lead a 15 athletes contingent that will represent the country at the 2025 World Athletic Championships scheduled to take place in Tokyo, Japan from September the 13th to the 21st. The list, which was released by the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, is made up of 7 female and 8 male athletes. Team Nigeria will take part in 11 disciplines, which includes the men's and women's 100 meters, women's 100 meters hurdle, men's 200 and men's 400, men's 400 meters hurdle, men's and women's long jump, and men's shot put, women's discus, and women's hammer events. Amosun, who became Nigeria's first ever global champion when she stormed to the gold medal in a world record during the 2022 edition held in Oregon, USA, will be leading the charge for the podium. Finishes as she seeks to end the season on a high, skipping to the 2025 Diamond League finals in Zurich, Switzerland last week. Other athletes who will Other athletes who will be looking to make their mark include Olympic bronze medal S.A. Bruno, men's 400 meters, and also hurdles, prospect Nathaniel Ezekiel, shot put specialist Chukwu Ebuka Ekwerechi, as well as Rosemary Chukwuma, Patricia Ochobono, and also Chioma Onyekwere, Leon Obiageri Amarachi, and Olatoye Kingston Ajayi, Israel Okon Udodi, Wazuriki, Samuel Ogazi, Chidi Okazie, and Charles Godfrey. All of these individuals will be in action in Tokyo. Action at the 20th edition of the World Athletic Championship will be held at Japan National Stadium in Tokyo, and we're expecting Nigerians. They are actually expected to finish at the podium, and then we'll see how all of that will pan out for them, and we're wishing them well. And also having the likes of Bruno and also Toby Amoso leading this pack, these are no family. These guys are champions, world record holders and gold medalists, so they are used to being in situations like this, and then their experience and expertise would also help other athletes to, build the momentum and continue, making Nigeria proud. So let's move on away from track and field. Let's talk cricket quickly, as Nigeria face Namibia test after Sierra Leone rout. That's talking about the ladies as they are getting themselves ready for the 2026 T20 World Cup that will be coming up shortly. And Nigerians female yellow and green will face their first major test in the ongoing 2026 ICC Women's T20 World Cup qualifiers, African qualifiers that will be taken on today. They started obviously yesterday when they will battle host Namibia in their second group game. Coach Leke Oyede's ladies began their run on Sunday with a dominant 96-run win against Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, after winning the toss, put the female yellow and greens to bat. Nigeria showcased their batting depth and powers, piling up a formidable total of 182 runs for just 3 wickets in 20 overs. Players of the match, Petty Lucky was the star of the first innings, blustering a sensational 68 runs off just 36 balls with 8-4 and 3-6, setting the tone with fearless stroke play. She was also well supported by Mohabat Amosun, who played a steady knock of 31 runs from 33 balls before being run out. Salome Sunday continued the steady run with 47 of 33 deliveries, smashing 8 boundaries, while Christabel Chukwukonye added a quick fire 20 of 15 balls. Now, for those that don't really understand, smashing 8 boundaries, meaning she hit the ball so hard that it has to go out of the play. So automatically that's a point. So it's not like throwing or ball out or whatever. That's an additional point. So she's just going to take her time, catwalk if she wants to, until she touches the podium, the cones that she needs to touch, and then make it back to her spot while she celebrates. So congratulations to these ladies, and then we are looking forward to seeing how they would go ahead of the host Namibia later today, and we are cheering them and hoping to see that their first outing was victorious, and then today hoping it's going to be the same result as that of yesterday as they advance and get ready to go represent Nigeria at the World Cup. Now let's talk mixed martial arts quickly, as Jane Osigwe sets record as AKO produces new champion. Nigerian Jane Osigwe etched her name in the African knockout history by capturing the women's bantamweight interim championship title with the hard-fought unanimous decision win over Sarah Madara as AKO 10 of live here in Abuja. It was a resulting battle, but Jane Osigwe's determination shown through as walked away with the gold on her waist. The championship drew a high-powered audience with several distinguished figures in attendance, including Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, and AKO President Kamaru Usman. Also, Honorable Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and ambassadors representing Algeria, Cuba, Senegal, Cameroon, and Morocco. The most dramatic finish of the evening came from Jane, the Black Panther, dos Santos, who stunned the arena with the MMA world with a flying knee that knocked out the Nigerian's Jibrin Baba in just 5 seconds. The electrifying finish not only crowned him the first ever AKO lightweight champion, but also set a new record for the fastest knockout in AKO history. So looking at it now, in the nearest future, we'll be expecting the likes of Israel Adesanya and the entire UFC coming back to Nigeria to host main event pay-per-view, I beg your pardon. So the likes of Kamaru Usman is the brain behind all of this, and then we are seeing our very own Nigeria making us proud and representing properly. So talking about Nigerians representing properly and making us proud, it's another Nigerian boxer who is very, very hungry to get back to the ring in the month of January. That's come 2026. Talking about Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua now is said to be on track for January return. Anthony Joshua is on track to return in a comeback fight in early 2026 before a roll of dice blockbuster next summer. After Joshua lost to Daniel Dubois last September, a lingering elbow injury would not heal and eventually required an operation that has kept the 35-year-old out of action, but he has now resumed training. His next fight back will be most likely in January or the start of February. He would not return to an immediate contest with a top-level heavyweight, but will target to turn up bout against world top 15 caliber opponent before pushing the biggest name in the division. The ultimate target, though, remains Tyson Fury as a great all-Britain showdown that has so far eluded Justin. At the end of the day, Anthony Joshua just want to fight, and then they want to know who the king of England is between him and Tyson Fury. Now, will Tyson Fury want to come out of retirement to face Anthony Joshua, who is still very much active? We will find out. But Tyson Fury himself is one who is actually still keeping fit despite being out of the ring, professionally. So we will see how all of that will pan out for Anthony Joshua. And if the Gypsy King, talking about Tyson Fury, would want to come out from his retirement just to face the Nigerian. So moving on, away totally from track and field, boxing and mixed martial arts, let's talk football quickly. As NPFL, Katsina United end 4 years winless jigs. Finally, congratulations to them. Katsina United ended a 4-year wait for an away win in Nigerian Premier Football League on Sunday after beating Plateau United 2-1 in Jos. Now the narrative around people not winning away from home is changing, and then it's starting early. So it shows you that this season is going to be very, very competitive, and the narrative of saying home players or home team always have the advantage. Now it's different. If you play well and you get to score, officiating is it's taking a different tone, just as you can see. So having suffered a home defeat in the first match of the season against Warri Wolves last week, the Chanji boys responded with a win away from home as well, and that win is a very, very big statement. The visitors silenced their host at the New Jos Stadium, with Sadiq Abubakar opening the scoring for Katsina United in the 12th minute, while Uche Collins doubled the advantage on the hour mark. Gideon Monday pulled one back for Plateau United in the 71st minute, but it was mere consolation as the away side failed their attempt for a comeback. According to reports, and NPFL statistician Samuel Arrow, Katsina United's run without an away win in the league spanned 61 games, with their last being a win at Jigawa Golden Stars in June of 2021. No thanks to the defeat, Plateau United remains the only side yet to pick up a point this season. We'll be taking a quick look at the standings of the games that were played yesterday. Immediately after this, they lost their opening game on 1-0 against Ricky Torres in the opening matchup. Still talking MPFL, Magnet Hills Nasarawa United win over Abia Warriors. Nasarawa United technical advisor expressed satisfaction with his team's 1-0 win over Abia Warriors. Ogochukwu Leonard's goals scored the winning goal for the Solid Miners in the encounter played at the Lafia City Stadium. Magnet praises his team's performance, saying they deserve the maximum 3 points, particularly highlighting their strong start in the first half, where they created numerous scoring opportunities and they were only able to convert one. So more work needs to be done by Nasarawa United. If not, meeting the likes of Ayimba, Rivers United, Remo Stars, the current defending champions, Sporting Lagos, and Shooting Stars, Sunshine Stars, all of these teams, if you get to meet them and create those chances without scoring, you'll be rest assured that these individuals, your team, Nasarawa United, will have to pay dearly for that. So later today, we'll be seeing a matchup where Remo Stars will be having their second game of the season. That's talking about match day 2, basically, and then that'll be the last match. And then we saw lots of actions over the weekend where we saw some teams, Bayelsa United settled for draw, and also we saw lots of Nasarawa United emerging victorious, and Katsina United also breaking the jinx of winning away from home in the last 4 years. Congratulations to all the winners yesterday and for those teams that got themselves a point. So we'll see how the next match day 3 week will look like and how teams will respond to the losses and to the wins that they had. So moving on quickly, let's talk World Cup qualifiers as Eagles open up camp as Rwanda arrives Nigeria tomorrow, Tuesday. The Super Eagles camp will open opening today in Uyo for the 2026 World Cup qualifying match against Rwanda, South Africa, just as Rwandans are billed to arrive in Nigeria on Tuesday ahead of Saturday's clash. Nigeria will face Rwanda in a must-win clash on Saturday before traveling to battle Bafana in another crucial clash 3 days later. After 6 matches, the Super Eagles are 4th in their qualifying Group C with 7 points, 6 points behind South Africa, who lead the group with 13 points. Head coach Eric had named his final 23-man squad for the game. A prominent absentee in the squad is Victor Boniface, while Chippa United goalkeeper Stanley Wambali, Victor Boniface and captain Victor Boniface and Captain Williams Trust Ekon headline, I beg your pardon, Victor Osimhen and Captain Williams Trust Ekon headlines the list. According to Nigerian Football Federation, Rwanda's delegation will arrive in Lagos on Tuesday afternoon as they get set to take on the Super Eagles. Now, this is very, very important as it can get. It's very, very important that the Super Eagles get to win their next 2 games, which is very, very crucial. South Africans have qualified already, so they'll always want to prove a point because they're obviously going to play Nigeria, and then they'll look at the bigger picture. What if they play Nigeria and Nigeria gets to win and then qualify? That means they might still have a clash later in the future. That's talking about come next year in the World Cup, and then I'm sure they will not want to take that chance. But at the end of the day now, there's a whole lot of work that needs to be done. The next 2 matches are very crucial, and then Nigerians, a couple of football fans are losing hope in Eric because of the outing that we saw in Chan. So some persons are expected to see a different outfit, they're expected to see a different approach, and the reason why Boniface is not on the list is because of his injury concerns, and that's one of the reasons why he lost he failed the medical at AC Milan. And from information reaching us is that a whole lot of conversation is still going on where he will be taking his talents to for this 2025-2026 season. But for now, he still has a contract that is actively running with Bayern Leverkusen, so he might just remain there for the rest of the season. So we'll see how all of this pans out. But for the Super Eagles, this next two matches is actually a very, very important. It's very, very important, and they have to win. Like, they literally have to win the two matches. So let's see how all of this pans out, and then before then we'll be going on a very quick break, and when we return back we'll have conversations around EPL, and then we'll dive into transfer talks quickly. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. Now let's talk EPL quickly. Now, you all saw the actions between Liverpool and Arsenal, and for me, Arsenal had a very good run yesterday. Aside that free kick from Liverpool, I didn't really know how much Liverpool performed yesterday, but just in case you missed it, let me bring you a quick highlight of that game between Arsenal and Liverpool. But Arsenal needed to have done a little bit more, and I still feel that there is something lacking in the front line of Arsenal. Victor Gyökeres wasn't making all of those runs because there were opportunities for Nono Madueke to drop the pass inside the 16-yard box, but at the end of the day, if he cuts left, and then there's always nobody inside the box for him to drop the pass to, and then he will just end up striking the shot, and then either it gets deflected or Alisson would find a way to just keep that away from getting into the net. But let me just bring you the highlights quickly of the game, and then we'll come back and have a quick conversation around that. Stay with us. Well, let's talk transfer quickly, and then we'll bring you those highlights a little bit later. Atalanta rejects Bayern Leverkusen's loan offer for Lookman, the Italian Serie A side. Atalanta won't let Ademola Lookman leave the club on loan amidst interest from German champions Bayern Munich. The Nigerian and the club have been at loggerheads over a procrastinated summer exit with hours of the transfer window to end for the 2025-2026 transfer window. The club insists Lookman will only leave the club on a permanent basis for the right money. Bayern Munich are the latest club in inquiry about the 27-year-old after talks with Inter Milan collapsed. Lookman has also been linked with a move to some Premier League clubs aimed at the transfer saga. Bayern Munich approached Atlanta for Ademola Lookman, who proposed loan including sizable fee plus options to buy at a significant price. So we'll see how all of that would turn out. The Nigerian counterpart Onyebuchi Onyekonla said the deal is only not going to see the light of day due to Atlanta's stance. So I don't really even understand what's going on with Atlanta right now, as they are very, very keen on not letting Ademola Lookman go. So we'll see what would happen in this 2025-2026 season. Now, still talking Liverpool. Let's talk Liverpool, as they have this finally. Liverpool has landed Newcastle Isca for 130 million euros fee. This is a record-breaking fee fee. We've not seen this magnitude of fee being paid in a while in the EPL. Premier League champions Liverpool have agreed to sign Alexander Isak from Newcastle United for a British record transfer fee. Media reports the Swedish forward is set to join the Reds in a deal worth around £130 million, which is around $176 million according to reports. And then moving on, the report says that Isak is set to undergo a medical today before completing a 6-year deal with the Mayside club. The 25-year-old striker scored 23 goals in the Premier League last season behind only Liverpool's Mo Salah as Newcastle qualified for the Champions League. But he has been the subject of procrastinated and occasional transfer saga this summer, trading away from the rest of the Newcastle squad after making clear his desire to move to Liverpool. On Saturday, Newcastle signed German international striker Ned Waltman for a club record fee reported to be worth around €69 million in what it has been seen as paving the way for Isak's departure. So we'll see how he will pan out. But let's talk, since we're talking Liverpool, let me bring you again a highlight between Arsenal and Liverpool, as I felt, for me, Arsenal was supposed to win that match, but it didn't really happen.